Hey there, welcome back. Younes Charfaoui is here, and in this tutorial we are going to learn about loops, especially the for loop in Kotlin, always in the series about Kotlin for beginners. So let's get started. Here I'm having an empty project with an empty main file, and let's try to get started with the for loop. Alright, so the for loop has the following structure. Now, loops in general are the way we make repeating code for how many times as we like. So the for loop has the following structure: item in collection and do something. Now the rule for loop in Kotlin instead of Java is it lets you iterate over anything that provides an iterator. Okay, keep that in mind. This is the rule for loop. The for loop allows you to iterate over anything that provides an iterator. We will start in number in specific range. Let's say you want to print something 1000 times or 100 times. You say number in 1 until 100. And if you print that number, this local variable, you can use it only here. You can't use that number outside. Okay, this local variable for the loop only. If you run this code now, you will get from 1 to 100. Exactly. From 1 to 100. Great. Now, sometimes we want to exclude the last number, let's say from 1 to 100, but it stops until 99. So here, instead of these two dots, you say until. Okay, now if you run it again, it will stop at 99. Something else, sometimes we want to do step ahead, like we want to go by 2 or by 3. Let's say from 1, it jumps directly to 3, then 5, then 7, and so on. So this is called a step. Okay, so you put step here, and let's say you put step of 3 and run it. Now it will print 1. Let me go back to the beginning. 1, then it's at 3, it's 4, 7, 10, and so on. Now if you go back to the last, it's stopped at 79. Why it's not 99, 100 or 99? Because if you add 3, we will get to 100, which is excluded. Sometimes also we want to do the down to. Let's say we want to do iteration from 100 to 1. Okay, you can't just put 100 here and 1 here. And let's delete that and run it. It will run 0 time. It won't run at all. Okay, so what you need to put here is down to. Okay, the down to. And run it again. And you will see it print from 100 to 1. Okay, you can always apply the step also. Let's say apply step of 3. Yeah, exactly. 10, 79, and so on. Okay, that's it. That's it for the loop with range. Now, as I said before, the loop or the for loop work with something that's iterable, that provides an iterator. Now, I want to show you another example before going to the general rule. Let's say that you have a list of names or the alphabet like that, and this is a list of, and I will type some alphabets, A, B. We will be talking about list and arrays in the following lesson. And let's say I have C. Now we want to iterate over this list. We want to use the A, B, and C. Okay, so what you can do is for letter, this variable here, you can name it whatever you want. Just name it with an intent. Okay, for letter in what's in that list, which is called alphabet. Okay, and print that letter. If you run it, it will just print A, B, and C, as you can see. So the for loop allows you to loop over something that provides an iterable, which happened that list provides an iterable. If you go to the list, you find that the list, this is the code for the list from the Kotlin. You find that list of is a list. If you click here on the list, I'm using Control and mouse click, you will see that list inherent from collection. If you dig deeper in this list, you'll find that it has a function that provides an iterator. This is what every for loop needs. Anything that provides this iterator, the for loop can iterate over. Okay, go back here. Let me show you another example. In the previous example, we used from 1 to 100. Okay, now if you run it again, of course, it will print just the same thing. But how these two dots provide an iterator? If you dig deeper, you will see that these two dots is a replacement for a range 2 function. Now, this uses something called operator function. We'll be talking about operator functions also in the next videos. Now, if you dig deeper, range to provide what? Provide an int range. Let's dig deeper in this int range. Here, the int range is something from int progression. Okay, if you go here into int progression, you will see that this int progression provide what we call an iterator. So if you have anything that provide an iterator, the for loop can iterate on. I will do another example with arrays. We will just create an array of ints. It's simple, you just need int array of, and let's say 1, 3, and 7, for example. If you want to iterate over it, you can use this thing for number in what? In, let's name this numbers with s, and replace this with this, and number with this, and loop over it. It will print 1, 3, and 7. Why? Because always arrays provide iterator. Okay, but sometimes when especially working with arrays, we will be talking about arrays in the next videos also. But we want to loop over the indices like 0, 1, and 2. You can do that. You can do indices like that, and this number will print the indices of this array. So it print what? It will print 0, 1, and 2, because 1 is in the position of 0, 3 is in the position of 1, and so on. Well, Kotlin and Java are 0 index based. Sometimes we want to do both. We want to have the indices and also the value. You can do this also with index like that, but here you will provide two things. You provide the index and the value. If you print them both, and if you run it, you see that index is 0, the value is 1. Index of 1, the value is 3, and so on. And the last thing I want to show you here, it's sometimes in the loops, we want to stop the loop if you have some condition, or we want to skip something. Let's say I want to stop the loop whenever I encounter value bigger than 1. I will stop it. Okay, so the keyword here is to use break. Okay, that's easy. Now you just need to put the condition to use that break. Let's say if the value is bigger than 1, strictly bigger than 1, then break. Otherwise, else, just print that value. Okay, so what will happen? It will print the 1 and it will stop. If you run it, print the 1, which is this one, and it will stop. Okay, but sometimes we want, let's say we want to skip anything that for some reason we want to skip something. Let's say I want to skip numbers below 1 or below or equal 1. Let's say if this number is equal to 1, let's put equal, or let's put smaller or equal to 1, just skip it. We don't write skip, we write continue. If you encounter this condition, just complete the loop and go back. Run it again. This will print 3 and 7. Yes, I didn't use print new line. 3 and 7. First it counter 1, it skip it. Let's say I want to put 0 here. This will skip this 1 and it will skip this 0. Run it again. And you will see 3 and 7 only. If you add something great here, let's put 2. It will print 3, 2, and 7. Okay, so this is how you can work with the break and also with the continue. Okay, so this is the basics of for loop. Just remember that for loop can iterate over anything that provide an iterator. This is the basic rule. So this is it for the for loop. I hope you enjoyed working with for loop. If you have any question, please let me know in the comment below. Always subscribe to the channel if you are not. Thank you very much for watching this video, and see you in the next upcoming videos.